In the grand tapestry of world history, some stories are shouted from the rooftops, while others are merely whispered in quiet corners, waiting to be discovered by those who listen closely. The Philippines story is one of those gentle whispers, an untold tale woven with threads of courage, compassion, and selfless humanity, often overlooked by the wider world. This island nation, celebrated for its breathtaking beauty and the warmth of its people, played a crucial yet often forgotten role in shaping the destinies of faraway nations like Israel and Russia, at pivotal moments in their histories. At times when the world seemed to turn its back and close its doors, the Philippines did the opposite. It opened its arms wide, offering sanctuary and hope to those fleeing unimaginable persecution, not just once, but on two separate occasions that changed countless lives. These were not calculated political moves or acts of self-interest, but genuine gestures of humanity and empathy that forged deep, lasting bonds between peoples and nations. We'll uncover how, after the Russian Revolution, the Philippines became a rare and unexpected haven for white Russians, families who had lost everything and found new hope on these distant shores, and how just a few years later, Jewish families escaping the horrors of the Holocaust found refuge and a chance to rebuild their lives in Manila, thanks to the open-hearted Filipino people. These extraordinary acts of kindness and solidarity laid the foundation for the unique and enduring relationships the Philippines shares with Russia and Israel to this very day, built on mutual respect and gratitude. This is the remarkable story of how a nation with a big heart became a quiet hero on the world stage, shaping the course of history not through power, but through compassion, generosity, and the courage to do what was right. After the Russian Revolution erupted in 1917, thousands of white Russians, those who opposed the Bolsheviks, were forced to flee their homeland. They became stateless wanderers, leaving behind everything they knew in search of safety and a new beginning. Families were separated, and many faced years of uncertainty, moving from one country to another, always hoping for a place to call home. Many of these exiles found temporary refuge in Shanghai, a bustling international city at the time. For a while, it seemed like a safe haven, but their future became uncertain once again when communists took over China in 1949. Suddenly, the refugees were at risk of being expelled or persecuted, and their hopes for stability were dashed. As the world grappled with post-war challenges, most countries closed their doors to these desperate people. Borders were shut, visas denied, and the refugees found themselves with nowhere to turn, except for one unexpected nation, the Philippines. President Elpidio Quirino, moved by compassion, saw a human crisis rather than a political problem. He made the bold decision to offer sanctuary to over 5,500 Russian refugees on Tubabao Island, a small, wind-swept patch of land in the Philippines. His leadership gave hope to thousands who had lost everything. Life on Tubabao was far from easy. The refugees had to build shelters and an entire community from scratch, using whatever materials they could find. They faced fierce typhoons, unfamiliar tropical heat, and the daily struggle to provide food and water. Yet, through resilience and cooperation, they managed to create a sense of home. Despite their hardships, the refugees found safety and acceptance. Local Filipinos welcomed them with open arms, sharing what little they had: food, supplies, and friendship. This spirit of generosity helped the exiles survive and feel less alone in a foreign land. The Philippine government also stepped in, providing support and resources to ensure the refugees' dignity. Officials visited the camps, coordinated aid, and worked to make life bearable, while the exiles waited for resettlement in other countries. This act of compassion was extraordinary, especially for a young nation still recovering from the devastation of World War II. Despite its own challenges, the Philippines chose to help those in even greater need. Driven by the Filipino value of pakikipagkapwa-tao, seeing oneself in others, the people of the Philippines extended a helping hand. They showed the world that empathy and kindness can transcend borders and politics. This remarkable gesture laid the groundwork for a unique and enduring friendship between the Philippines and Russia, a bond born from compassion and shared humanity. The Tubabao refugee camp lasted just over 2 years, but its impact endures. The White Russians built a vibrant community, schools, a church, even a ballet troupe, leaving a mark on local Filipinos. This brief episode planted seeds of goodwill that survived the Cold War's chill. When Russia emerged from the Soviet era, the memory of Tubabao became a foundation for renewed ties. Today, this legacy is a cornerstone of Philippines-Russia relations, cited by diplomats as a symbol of historic friendship. It's inspired cultural exchanges, Russian ballet in Manila, Filipino artists in Moscow. The story of Tubabao is now rediscovered by younger generations, reminding both nations of their shared past. This legacy ensures the bond is rooted in survival, hope, and friendship, not just politics. Humanitarian acts, it turns out, can have strategic importance for decades. As Nazi terror spread in the 1930s, Jewish families sought escape, but most countries shut their doors. President Manuel L. Quezon of the Philippines, moved by compassion, created an open-door policy to welcome up to 10,000 Jewish refugees. Despite economic challenges and American oversight, Quezon worked tirelessly to make this rescue possible. Between 1937 and 1941, about 1,300 Jewish refugees, known as Manilaners, found safety in the Philippines. They were welcomed, supported, and integrated into Filipino society, finding not just refuge, but a home. This act of courage became a pillar of the relationship between the Filipino and Jewish peoples. The Philippines chose compassion when much of the world chose indifference. This legacy of saving lives during the Holocaust would be remembered when the Jewish state was born. The Philippines proved itself a true friend in humanity's darkest hour. The bonds forged during the Holocaust were tested on November 29, 1947, at the United Nations, when the world gathered to decide the fate of a new nation. The air was thick with anticipation as delegates from around the globe prepared to cast their votes on the partition plan that would create the State of Israel. For many, this was not just a political decision, but a moral reckoning shaped by the horrors of recent history. The Philippines, under the principled leadership of General Carlos P. Romulo, made a historic choice. As the only Asian nation to vote yes, the Philippines stood apart from its neighbors, defying regional pressures and expectations. Romulo and his delegation understood the weight of their decision, knowing it would echo far beyond the walls of the UN Assembly. This was a bold and courageous move for a young country still finding its place in the world. Filipino leaders faced immense diplomatic pressure, but they remembered their promise to the Jewish people, rooted in compassion and a shared struggle for freedom. Their memories of offering refuge to Jewish refugees during the Holocaust guided their conscience. The Philippine vote was not just symbolic, it was pivotal. Without their support, the resolution to create Israel might have failed by a single vote. The tension in the room was palpable as the world watched history unfold, and the Philippines tipped the balance. For Jews around the world, this was a moment of immense gratitude and relief. The Philippines had played a vital role in helping to birth their long-awaited nation. Celebrations erupted, and the memory of Filipino solidarity became a cherished part of Israel's founding story. This single act of courage and empathy cemented an unbreakable bond between Israel and the Philippines, a relationship rooted in shared values, mutual respect, and a deep sense of history. It was more than diplomacy. It was a testament to the power of standing up for what is right. The vote transformed the Philippines from a humanitarian benefactor into a key political ally on the world stage. It marked the beginning of a partnership that would grow stronger with each passing decade, built on trust and a commitment to helping one another. Israel would never forget that the Philippines stood with them at their most critical moment. Over the years, both nations have honored this legacy through visits, commemorations, and ongoing cooperation in various fields. This diplomatic relationship began with a moral stand, not just political calculation. It was a choice guided by conscience, empathy, and a belief in the right to self-determination. Today, the friendship between the two nations is cherished and celebrated. Through cultural exchanges, joint projects, and shared memories, the bond endures, reminding the world of the lasting impact of a single, courageous vote. The friendship born from history has blossomed into a vibrant partnership. Diplomatically, Israel and the Philippines support each other in international forums and collaborate on security and disaster response. Economically, Israeli technology is helping Filipino farmers, while thousands of Filipinos work in Israel, building people-to-people ties. Cultural exchanges flourish. Filipino Christians visit Israel's holy sites, while Israelis discover the Philippines' natural beauty. Security cooperation is strong, with Israel helping modernize the Philippine military and police. This partnership is built on trust established decades ago. For Israel, the Philippines is a steadfast friend, For the Philippines, Israel is a vital partner in innovation and security. The alliance is living proof that compassion can evolve into mutual prosperity. A bond forged in crisis now thrives in the modern era. The goodwill from Tubabao has paved the way for a dynamic relationship between Russia and the Philippines. After the Cold War, both nations saw the potential for partnership rooted in shared history. Diplomatic ties have warmed, with frequent high-level visits and mutual respect. Economic cooperation is growing. Russia supplies energy, the Philippines exports agricultural products, and both explore new areas like technology and infrastructure. Cultural bonds are strengthening, with tourism and educational exchanges on the rise. Filipinos study in Russia, Russians visit the Philippines. These people-to-people connections ensure the relationship is felt beyond government halls. The spirit of Tubabao lives on, shaping a friendship for the future. The Philippines now sits at the center of a triangle of opportunity with Israel and Russia. With Israel, the future lies in technology, cybersecurity, fintech, and smart cities. Joint research and innovation can drive breakthroughs in science and medicine. With Russia, energy and infrastructure are key: nuclear power, engineering, and even space technology. The Philippines can leverage these friendships for national development and regional stability. Its unique position allows it to foster dialogue and cooperation between two global powers. By nurturing these ties, the Philippines honors its legacy and secures its future. Compassion yesterday is building a better world for tomorrow. The stories of Tubabao and the Manilayners are more than history. They're the soul of Philippine foreign relations. The Philippines acted on principle, offering hope when others turned away. This legacy of compassion continues to shape its destiny and relationships with Israel and Russia. The benefits are real: technology, security, and economic growth. These alliances are built on gratitude and shared values, not just convenience. The Philippines' choices were moral, not accidental. Seeing humanity in others, offering sanctuary, and standing for what's right. For Israel and Russia, the Philippines is a moral anchor, a friend in their darkest hours. The nation's true strength is measured by the size of its heart. This is the enduring, untold legacy of the Philippines.